Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Adams Brothers Podcast. We are back. Two bald-headed, handsome black men, the two brothers. We're back behind the microphones once again. Come on in the room. Let's chop it up. Happy Monday to you. Hope everybody has had a safe, good working day here today on a Monday here in beautiful South Florida. This is a pop-up podcast. We're here to chop it up. Y'all know how we do it. We're not going to be on here that long tonight. So we just want to hop on here. We just got finished with a interview with Miss Latoya Clark. She is running for City of Sunrise Commissioner, Seat A, and she has a very impressive resume, and I think she'll make a very good commissioner out there with the City of Sunrise. So, Latoya Clark, good luck to you. If you missed the interview, go back and watch the playback, and you can go back and see the interview with Miss Clark. Very good interview. Hello, Willie, Reverend Willie Mann. Welcome to the Adams Brothers Podcast up there in Atlanta, Georgia. How you doing, my brother? Sending prayers out to you and your wife, man, up there, and your family. Hello, Dr. Sherman Mars. We missed you this weekend, man. We didn't see you. You're out of state. You're out of state. That's one of the things we're going to talk about here. We're not going to be on here that long. We're going to just talk a little bit about the alumni weekend that we just had. Deerfield Beach High School alumni weekend. It was very nice.
Yes, it was.
I attended both of them. The one that they had last week up on Johnny McKeithen Park. And I also attended the one this past weekend at the Butler House, and then at the high school, the homecoming game. Deerfield didn't do well at all. They didn't do well. I'll just leave it like that. They tried, but they didn't do well. They'll do better next year. But
they got to get some more dogs on that team.
Yeah,
they got to get some more people. A lot of people left, transferring to other schools. So I think that's the dilemma that I think everyone is going to have to deal with across Broward County, and across the state, and probably most likely across the country too, because a lot of like these high schools in Florida now, they have NIL too. So we had that discussion on there with Dr. Morris and Tony Sands.
And Dr. Morris, by the way, we're going to have Tracy Scroggins. He is a former NFL player with the Detroit Lions. He spent 10 years with the Detroit Lions, and he ended up filing a lawsuit against the NFL for the CTE, concussion protocol thing there. We're going to have him on the podcast on Wednesday. So, Wayne, tell him more about that, since I know you've been doing most of the communications with him back and forth. So tell him a little bit more about that.
Yeah, we're going to have Tracy Scroggins. Scroggins was a 10-year NFL player, and in 2016, Scroggins, he filed a class action lawsuit in the U.S. District Court for the Southern District of Florida, charging the NFL with racketeering. And in his suit, he claims that the NFL concealed the relationship between repeated head trauma and brain diseases like chronic traumatic encephalopathy, CTE, in other words. And it said, and Scroggins spent his entire 10-year career as a defensive end and a linebacker for the Detroit Lions. But I talked with Mr. Scroggins. He is a very articulate guy, and he has a very touching story to tell. I mean, he has a very good story to tell, and I think we're going to also be joined our co-host that day is going to be Tony Sands. He's going to be joining us with that interview to talk with a 10-year NFL veteran, former NFL player Tracy Scroggins. So we'll have legendary Kansas Jayhawks running back Tony Sands as our co-host that day, and that'll be Wednesday at 6 p.m. and join us on Facebook and YouTube. We'll be live. Yeah. And prior to that, at 5 o'clock, we're also gonna have another interview with Miss Sonia Lawrence, actually, and she's gonna be talking about financial planning, and that's gonna be at 5 o'clock on Wednesday. Sonia Lawrence, and she's gonna be talking about financial planning. So join us Wednesday too. We're gonna have some nice interviews, two podcasts, one at 5, that's right, one at 5 and one at 6. So join us. It's gonna be a great discussion as always say. We're elevating the dialogue and having engaging conversation.
Yes, Tony just popped in now. Hello, Joanne Duncan Smith. Who else popped in? Monica Turner. Hey, Monica and Tony get Sensational Sands. Like
Judith Wilson.
And Judy Wilson. Hey, Judy. Yep. Tony will be joining us on Wednesday, like Wayne just said, at 6 p.m. He'll be our co-host, and we're gonna chop it up. We're gonna talk about, learn some things about CTE that some of us might not know. And,
Tony did a show, one of his on his radio show. He did a show on CTE, and I'm quite sure he had someone on there. Yeah. As soon as we get a lot of information, we're gonna be posting it, but. That was a good program. I saw Mr. Scroggins on some years ago. Him and his wife was on there, and he was talking about the CT. It was a very good ESPN show, and they talked about ESPN did it, and they had Dallas running back great Tony Dorsett, and he was talking about his battle with CTE, and they had a whole lot of other players on there that was suffering from CTE. If you go back and you remember former Miami Dolphins player, linebacker, and San Diego Chargers Hall of Famer Junior Seau. Yes, they were saying that Junior Seau had, I think he committed suicide, and he had CTE. His brain was like ate up. And also, what was his name? The wide receiver, tight end from Florida, that allegedly was a serial killer.
You're talking about Aaron
Hernandez? Yes, Aaron Hernandez.
Played for the New England
Patriots and the Florida Gators. So CTE is a big thing, and it was a big lawsuit was filed. So we're going to talk all about that. We're going to be talking with Mr. Tracy Scroggins on Wednesday at 6 p.m. So please join us for that interview. Like I say, he has a lot to talk about and to tell. You got to hear his story. Yes, indeed, Tony. Aaron Hernandez definitely was one. I'm not saying that's what had him to commit those murders in Massachusetts, but I would say some of it probably did contribute to it.
Hey, hello, Joanne Duncan Smith, Delt Trey Rick, and Chanel Perry. Hello, Chanel. I haven't seen you in a while.
Got a chance to talk to your husband on Thursday and on Saturday.
Okay, we did see him out
Mr.
there.
Spates. Hadn't seen him in so long.
Right. So back to the alumni weekend, we had a good time. We left on Friday. We went over to Duffy's after the game, and everybody was there and having a good time and eating and just catching up, and everything. I saw Jonathan Smith. I literally hadn't seen Jonathan Smith in 40 years?
40 years for me.
Man, it's been a
last
long
time I saw him.
Jonathan lives up in
Maryland
area up there, and he was here. And good to see him. You'll see some of the pictures online on social media. Yeah. It was good to see Jonathan. He looks good, man. He looks still looking young.
Co-Chief. That's what we used to call him in school, Co-Chief. But that was my first time seeing Jonathan since we left Deerfield Beach High in 1984. That was my first chance to see him, and his mom and my mom, Miss Gertrude, were very good friends. His mom used to work at the old DNR. If everybody remember the DNR on Dixie Highway, that's right there right now where the old Morris Learning Center is at. That was the old one of the grocery stores we had that everyone used to shop in our community back in the 70s, the 60s and the 70s there. His mom worked there. So yeah, it was good seeing Jonathan, good seeing him. We had good long conversations. A lot of other people. Fred Hardy just retired from BSO. Congratulations. Him and his brother Kevin. Didn't get a chance to see Kevin, but got a chance to talk to my classmate Fred Hardy. It was good seeing him.
Stephon Bell,
Alan Johnson, Calvin McCoy.
Joseph Williams.
Joseph Williams from the class of '85.
Right.
Yes.
Tanita McCoy. They all came down from Atlanta.
Yes. Kenethia, Patricia Williams, Venus Murphy. It was, I'm trying to think, it was just so many. Kim Fisher, my classmate, I see her every now and then. Kim Jones now. Who else was out
Rosemary
there?
Harris,
Rosemary.
Atlanta.
And special thanks to Pamela Davenport and her husband, Ferguson, and her husband for the contributions. Sharon Griffin, my classmate. They did an excellent job for the class of '84.
Billy Gowdy.
I mean, I saw the services online yesterday with Alan singing. Man, they had an awesome service at Cathedral Church. So it was good to see everyone out there Saturday. That was my very first time going, and I'll be back again.
And I had a chance to, talk to, Delisha Miller and Lynette Drayton and Anita Moore, one of the twins. I hadn't seen her in a while, and I saw her. I was talking to her sister. I didn't even know that was her sister sitting there, and I just happened to ask Anita. I was like, "Where's your sister?" She said, "Right there." I was like, "Man, I was just over there talking to her. I didn't even realize that was her."
Kenethia McFadden, Tammy Moss. Hadn't saw Tammy in probably 30 some years.
Didn't recognize her.
I did not recognize Tammy. And I spoke to her when I came in, and then I was sitting there eating, and then I took a hard look, and it came right to me. That was Tammy.
She said, "I bet you don't know who I am." I said, "I bet you I do." Yeah. And I told her, I said, "You're Tammy Moss." She said, "Well, your brother didn't know who I was." I said, "Well, maybe he didn't recognize you, but I know exactly who you are." So it was good to see a lot of people.
That's right. In all the classes.
All of the classes. And big shout out to the DJs, Master T,
Derek Reed.
Derek the DJ Reed, Deltamus Reckley.
Yeah.
Trey Reck.
Yeah.
They played some good music out there, and they were line dancing and everything.
Excellent food. I know the food for the class of 1984. Our class
was good. Nobody was
excellent.
Out there fighting. They had law enforcement on hand. They were just on hand. No problems.
Just riding around on the golf cart,
just having a good time. So kudos to
everyone.
Vernon Harris and Janice Fullmore, and who else was on the co-vice president?
Tanya Portier, Ella,
everybody
Moore
that
Portier,
was
everyone who helped construct it. You know who you are. So many different names. Everyone. It was awesome. I had an excellent time out there, and like I say, I'll be back. That was my first time ever going to one, but it was awesome, and I loved it. All the classes, 82, y'all always crunk and dancing and having a good time. Class of 83, they always chilling like us, but it was like so many people over there with us that I got a chance to meet from my class. Some I see run into every now and then, but it's been 40 years. I don't know where time went in those 40 years. It just seems like yesterday being back out there again on that football field. Andrew Flagler was here, right?
Yes, he was.
Flagler was here. He had to leave out, I believe, Saturday morning. I believe Flagler had to leave out. But yeah, Flagler, he talks to my dad a lot. He calls my dad, and
the class of 1986, which is my class, we never ever participate. So I'm calling out the class of 1986. You know who you are. I can start calling out some names. Donna Butts, Leola Black, who else? Devon Singletary, Khalid Samim, Kelsey, aka Kelsey Miller, Shalita Gamage, Sherman Gamage, Sherman Royal, Enoch Smith, Tanya Daniels Carter. There are a lot of us still here in this area. The class of 1986, Shamel Foster, Kathy Bennett. We're all going to get together. I'm going to take the lead on this. Class of 1986. We will have us a tent at both events next year. Okay. The one they wherever they have it, and the one both sides we're gonna participate. So we're gonna set up us a little Zoom call and get us a representative, and we will have us a tent if it's God's will. We'll be out there next year. Class of 1986. I'm gonna keep on calling you all out until you all come out. So I know you're here, but you just don't participate. And I see a bunch of you guys. Paul Baker came out there, class of 86. What's up there, Bake?
Yep, shake and bake.
Paul Baker.
Everybody was out there, man. It was like the old Mango Fest.
I saw Cornelius Riley.
He
was out there with 87.
Yeah.
So well, we had a good time.
Especially at the Butler House Thursday night. That was nice.
Yeah,
that was nice over there. It was nice seeing everybody. Smoking Vibe had their trail out there. Everybody was over there on the hookahs. Man, it was a nice vibe over there at the Butler House Thursday night. It was nice. It was nice seeing everyone out there. Hopefully in the future, we can all do the same thing again. I mean,
right. LaMonica Butler, Andrea Butler,
Salamonica Butler.
Although all class of 86. I think Avis Hampton is still around here in the area. And the names are coming to me now as I keep talking.
Hello, Miss Rivers.
Melanie.
Hello, Celestine.
Melanie Lawson. Hello, Celestine, and Shirley Rivers Edwards. She said, "Hello, church guys." She always says that,
Yes.
Hello, Shirley. Eugene Austin. Hello to you as well. Thank you all for tuning in. This is a pop-up podcast. We don't have any subject. We just talk about random things here.
At the Tigner Center tonight, matter of fact, I just wanted to, they're having a Halloween something for
party?
The kids tonight.
Yeah.
Halloween family fun night, and that's tonight from 6:30 to 8:30 p.m. So take your kids and your grandkids.
It's going on right now.
They're going on right now at the Johnny L. Tigner Center. It's Halloween family fun night at the Johnny L. Tigner Center, man.
Yes,
that place is gonna be the mecca for everything here going on in our city here. In the next hopefully for years to come. Also, I can't not tell you how many people were coming up to me. Probably I would say at least 40 to 50 people came up to me. Some I didn't even know coming up saying that they watch our podcast and how proud they is. A lot of people I went to school with coming up to me, Mike Black, everyone coming up to me, the Spates, Vernon Harris, just telling us how proud they are of what we're doing here in our community. And we're going to keep engaging conversations. We're going to have continue to have topics here that are interest to this community. I also want to make a plea to the people out there. We're trying to get my dad is spearheading, trying to get the old Packer Rattlers back, the original Packer Rattlers back. We didn't have no football this year. I had a lot of people come up to me and say they want to do this, but they never get back with me. So I'm making a personal plea to everyone. Whether you live here in Deerfield Beach, you know about the Packer Rattlers. Please donate to the original. We're trying to get the original. My dad, Bernard Adams, is spearheading, trying to get the original. No, he's not going to be the president or anything. That's going to be left in the hands of others. But they're trying to put it together. Any of the older people that was there back in the days, the original people, come out if you want to help get the Rattlers back and bring them back next year so we can have a football team. Your help will be well appreciated. See my dad, Bernard Adams, for donations. See him. We need to get the football team back out there next year. Forget about the foolishness that went on in the past.
That's water under the bridge. We're on a new
That's
era
right. We're gonna
now,
move forward. We're not gonna even rehash whatever happened in the past. Like I said, we're trying to get the original Packer Rattlers with the original 1976 charter back. That's what we're trying to get back right now. That's what my dad is trying. Like I said, a lot of people have come up to me and say, but then everybody come up to my dad and it's like, everybody say they want to get the Rattlers back, but we don't see nothing from the community here. Nothing. I mean, we got enough people to get that money, to get that old charter back at the state. We got enough people here in this community, man. Come on, guys. Let's get it going. Everybody say they really, if your heart really in the right place here about the kids here, because all that talking, it's all that talking. It's time to put all that talking to the side. If you really want the original Packer Rattlers, the original 1976, that Mr. Chance, that Calvin McCoy, that Frank Scott, that Miss Cheryl Kidd, Miss Sylvia Portier, Bernard Adams, Linda Williams Ferris, Linda Ferris Williams, and all of them that put together. Yes, indeed. Happy birthday, Janet Man Garner.
Happy birthday, Janet.
If you want the original Packer Rattlers that they put together back in the days, Mr. John Hall, some of the other people that were on that board, Mr. Boo Boo Fullins, Mr. Fullins, and all those people there. Come on, community, we got to get it going. Willie Neal was a coach there. He wasn't actually one of the founding members, but Mr. Willie Neal gave his heart and soul, and George Benton and all them. I'm pleading to you. I wasn't going to really say anything because I know I have a lot of people come up to me privately out there Saturday. What we going to do about the Rattlers? Well, my dad, go see my dad, Bernard Adams. He's taking money right now to get the original Packer Rattlers charter back here. So we're not going to look back at what happened in the past. We moving forward. Forget all that looking back. Whatever happened in the past, I don't want to hear about it. I mean, y'all can continue to talk about it, but we're trying to get the original Packer Rattlers back. We got enough people right here in this chat. We got enough people here in this community, whether you live here or not. We want to bring the Packer Rattlers back. My dad said that he'd like to see all the older people that were involved. When I say old, I'm not talking about age. I'm talking about all the people that was involved back there in the days. He'd like to see some of you come back. Help whatever you can. He spoke to a lot of people privately. They know who they are. I don't have to call their names, but he spoke to people privately, and everybody need to come together and let's get the Rattlers going. So next year we can have a successful season. That's right, Ms. Hammond. Gay, we moving forward. We're not looking back. I don't want to hear nothing about what happened in the past. We don't want to hear nothing about that. For the Packer Rattlers, we moving forward. Like I say, we don't want to scar the dream of, like I say, Mr. Wardell Chance, Miss Sylvia Port, to everybody, Mr. Frank Scott, Mr. Boo Boo Fullins, my dad, Calvin McCoy, all those people, Cheryl Kidd, all those people, Miss Linda Ferris Williams, all those people sacrificed themselves for those kids. Let's not scar their memory. That's all I have to say on that. If you want to get donations, go see Bernard Adams, my dad. He's taking donations. I guarantee you the money, you will not have to worry about the money going to the wrong place. It will be put in the right place this time.
If you need his number, if you have our number, reach out to us. We'll give.
And everybody know where he live at. Everybody know where my dad live at.
Everybody knows where our parents live over there on 5th Court. So they're there all the time.
If you want to help, you got people out there. LaWanda Peck McKeever, she's sacrificing, been out there on the ground trying to get things going back. It's a lot of people out there giving it their all. So y'all come to, man, we got to come together. We always talk about coming together for all kind of other stuff. Let's talk about coming together right now for the betterment of our community, for the kids, and for the football team.
Well, I want to hear what you have to say. We want to see what you want to do. We have to want to do. Okay, we're interested in what you're going to do, and not just talk about it. Hello, LaShannon Moore Ray, Basil Farrington. Hey, hello, Basil. Janet Man Garner, happy birthday to you. Celestine Barnwell, Rosalind Hammond Gay. Who else is in here? Natasha Brown Latortu. Welcome to the Adams Brothers Podcast pop up here. We just talking about random things right here. Nothing in particular. We just got off an interview with LaToya Clark, City of Sunrise. So if you missed it, go back and watch the playback. And we just really on here chopping it up and trying to pass on some information. People go out and vote. Please go out and vote. You see this man, he had his little comedian, Trump had his little comedian on there. Now he was saying that the Haitian Americans eat the cats and the dogs up in Springfield, and now they're saying that the island of Puerto Rico is a floating garbage can or something like that.
Something like that.
It's a garbage can, you know.
It's always something.
So now Rick Scott and all of those cronies up there, you know, they are trying to back away from backtrack on the comments. Hello, Patricia Arnold. They're trying to backtrack on those comments that was made at some fundraiser up in New York. So people go out and vote. You know, women's rights are on the ballot.
Marijuana.
Recreational marijuana is on the ballot. Please go out and vote. And more importantly, know about these judges. There's a judge on there. She looks like us, but she isn't for us.
That's right.
Okay. And please go down that list and know who you're voting for. Those judges, they don't mean us no good. Okay. Don't go up if you don't know who those judges are, man. Look, don't just go in there and check yes. Yes. Please.
For the Supreme Court justices in Florida, no for all of them. This the Adams Brothers podcast. This our podcast. So I don't want to hear no talking about we doing this. This our podcast. So we can endorse whoever we want on here. So all the
I wish they had a hell
Supreme Court justices of the Supreme Court here in Florida, no for all of them. They all Rick Scott and
Ron DeSantis
appointees. So they're not gonna do nothing but hurt our cause anyway. So no for them.
So there you have it, right?
Herbie Rollins in the chat, my old classmate.
Yeah, I just saw Herbie over there in the store the other day. What's up, Herbie?
Y'all remember
the best kicker Deerfield Beach ever had?
Y'all remember Herbie Rollins from Deerfield High, kicker?
Yeah.
I talked to Herbie. He's at Winn-Dixie, long-time employee, worked at the school board. Herbie, they need you back in teaching. I know those kids ran you crazy, but we like to see you back in teaching the kids again, back at the teaching in the teaching profession again.
Right. So I know we just talked about a little bit about the election. We talked about the alumni. Is there anything we
the 4th District Court of Appeals. No for those judges too.
Yeah.
Broward County, Florida. No for the 4th District Court of Appeals. For them too.
Well, there's one guy that was on our podcast. I think he's gonna be a good one. Stark.
Yes.
Shout him out.
Let me see.
John, I think his name was John Stark. He was on our podcast. So when you see his name, people, if you're in Broward County, if you still vote here, absentee or whatever, vote by mail or whatever, we think his heart is in the right place. So
yes,
I think he's the only judge on that whole ballot that deserves a yes.
Samuel Ford Stark.
Samuel Ford, that's his name.
County Court Judge Group 10. I think he will be fair to those that come before him from our community, and that's what we need. We need allies. That's not, look, if you come before him and you murder someone, rape someone, you got to go. It's time for you to go. Yep. But I think Mr. Stark, from talking to him on and off, I think he will be a fair judge. If your kid or one of us come before him, I think he would be very fair in his sentencing. And we need judges. We need progressive judges like that. So his name again, County Court Judge Group 10, Samuel Ford Stark. If you choose to vote for him, our podcast do, from extensively talking with Mr. Stark. And again, I think he would be very fairly in sentencing people that look like us.
Hello, cousin Doe Sutton and Ernest R. Thompson. Hello, Ernie. How you doing, my brother? So know those judges and who you're voting for. Shirley Harden, how you doing? Thank you for joining us. Know those judges. If you look, they send you a sample ballot in the mail, people. Take that sample ballot and take the time and fill them out while you're sitting at home. So when you go to the polls, the only thing you have to do is just transfer what's on your sample ballot to the real ballot. It should take you less than 10 minutes to vote. You know what I'm saying? So don't spend all those times and getting in the booth, the poll booth, and you're on the cell phone calling your friend. Who should I vote for? Who? I don't know who is this. You know, come on, people, do your homework right now. Okay, fill out those sample ballots and go vote. I talk to people at work, and I talk to some of my coworkers, and a lot of people aren't voting. They're saying, "Oh, I'm not voting for the president. I'm going to leave it blank." And that's a lot of these young people. There are a lot of the young people, and a lot of most of them are immigrants. You know, they don't believe in voting. But
Jehovah's Witnesses, there are some of them.
They don't believe in voting. They don't think nothing will ever change. But you have Foundation of Black Americans that took beatings and hangings and got water hoses turned on them and set a fire and put in jail for the right to vote. And then you have people that don't want to vote. It makes no sense at all. No sense at all. So
you'll get the government that you don't want if you don't vote. I know people have strong opinions, but
Rick Scott, Marco Rubio need to go.
Rick Scott and Marco Rubio do not have the interests of black people. Okay? They do not have the interests of black people. Everything, never no resources for, as Daryl said earlier, Foundation of Black Americans. You never see resources for our community. So, I mean, voting for them will get you nowhere.
So people go out to the polls and vote, vote like your life depends on it. You have a man, everybody was saying Biden too old. Look at him here. His old. Hey, you know what? Look at him. He need to do this. He can't even talk. But look at Trump. He's already reckless and saying all kind of reckless things and quoting Hitler, Adolf Hitler, and saying all kind of reckless things. He's 77, 78
Trump
years
is
old.
an idiot.
Now, how will he be in 4 years?
They could have picked a better candidate than him.
He can only run this one term, and then he can never, ever run for nothing else. He can't run for the president's office of the president ever again. 8 years total. I don't care if they're split up 4, and he's out of office and then come back and do 4 more. He can only do a total of 8 years. Okay, so if you want that, vote for him. If you want Rick Scott, if you like the way your insurance rates look at, when you pay when it's time to file a claim or your homeowner's insurance, and now we're being forced to have flood insurance. Even if you aren't in a flood zone right now, you are being forced to pay for flood insurance.
And that's a come up for
the people that's over
the
on
insurance company
on the east side, and living in the nice houses. Nothing against that. You got a nice house, but now they're complaining about the rates being so high. So how do they make those premiums come down? They put more people in it. The people that aren't even in a flood zone, they put those people in it to bring down the premiums. And that'll only be just for a little while, and then they'll go right back up again. That's because these crooked politicians, like, again,
Rick Scott and Marco Rubio
here, they're snakes. And I love that commercial with Rick Scott slithering through the place, with his head on a snake.
Yeah, he's the dangerous snake in the Everglades. Deborah Marcel put that commercial up. She hit a home run with that commercial because Rick Scott is a big fraud. He was alleged in Medicaid fraud or some type of medical fraud here in the state of Florida, where he took the fifth 72 times when he was being. He
wouldn't answer the question.
Yeah, he wouldn't even answer the question like 72 times. When
he would have been in federal prison right now. That's why. So, and maybe pardoned by Trump already by now, anyways. But look, people, look.
Go vote.
If you happy with Marco Rubio, I make it known. Okay, I don't like Trump. I don't like Marco Rubio, and I don't like Rick Scott.
No.
And I would never ever vote for those idiots. Okay.
No.
And you can quote me, and you can go and show this.
And we not no
to anybody,
Democratic
okay?
shields either. We progressive black men that look at both sides. And I just know Donald Trump is not good for me. And I mean, whatever. If people want to go in there and vote for him, all that, go in there and do whatever you want to do. I'm not voting for the moron. That's what he is. Rick Scott, another one, and I would never vote for them.
Yeah,
but
all the people out there that want to vote for him, hey, more power to you. You want to vote for him, go vote for him. But if you vote for him and things don't go the way you want it to go, don't complain about it. The people that don't vote, don't come to me and complain about it. And, out on the streets, this and that, because I will walk away from you and leave you standing there. Okay. If you don't vote, don't complain. Okay.
And also,
that's all I have to say.
It was some news coming out of the United States Attorney's Office. I was looking at some of the press releases that they have. The U.S. Attorney's Office right now is going at a lot of fraudulent PPP loans. So I hope everyone that received those PPP loans, I hope you got your ducks in a row. The Georgia has already started. Florida, the U.S. Attorney's Office, the Southern District here in Florida, I just saw the press release where they are going after. Now they started at the top finally and worked their way down. They're working their way down to a lot of the people have pled guilty already. And I just hope whoever got those PPP loans, I just hope that you got yourself covered. I hate to see anyone, a convicted felon, or have that on your record now. But the U.S. Attorney's Office are going after now the lower level people that got PPP loans, and they're taking a look at everyone that got a PPP loan. They're taking a look at it. So I just pray to God no one gets caught up in that. Like I say, we had people coming to us trying to do that, and I'm like, nope, not gonna happen here. Number one, it's only me and Daryl, so I wasn't gonna do it, and I just hope no one else get caught up in that. But I did see the press release from the United States Attorney's Office, so just but again, back to voting. Also, if you get a chance, I put the link in the chat. Go back and check out Unc Shannon Sharp's interview with Kamala Harris. It dropped today on the Club Shay Shay. You can catch that on YouTube. But he had a sit down with Kamala Harris, I think over the weekend, but I haven't saw it yet. I'm going to take a look at it probably later. I'll listen to it later and watch it later. I'm quite sure it was a good interview. Shannon Sharp, broke the internet and broke everything, broke records for the most watched interview on YouTube in January when he had comedian Cat Williams on there. So
and Monique too, and the guy from the Ghetto Boys. Who was that? Scarface? Was it Scarface?
Willie D.
Willie D.
Yeah, Willie D sat down with Cat Williams too. But go back and check that interview out. It's on Club Shay Shay. Subscribe to Club Shay Shay on YouTube and check out his latest interview that he did over the weekend with Kamala Harris. And like I say, I'm gonna go and look at it. I know Shannon is gonna be fair. I know he's gonna be fair. He's gonna ask some tough questions, and they should. Every candidate should be asked tough questions. No one should be given softball questions. And I just think we as a people have to get out thinking that just because someone look like us all the time that you got to vote for him. But she's more qualified than Donald Trump. So, I mean, if you disagree with me, fine. Voted for her and whatever. I mean, if everybody has their own choices, for whatever reason, if they're not gonna vote for her, I'm not one of those black men that they keep putting up in polls saying they broken and all of that. I just say to that, I just think that the Democratic Party has to offer more to black people in general and to black men. And And I think you won't see that. I mean, if you be honest and really look, the Democratic Party have not done a lot for our community. They get our vote, but they don't do a lot for us. But that has to change. And I know a lot of people don't like to hear this during election season, but we have to stay on them. People like me stay on them and gonna continue to hold both parties accountable, not just the Democratic Party, but both parties should be held accountable to the people. And that's just the way it goes. So I don't know what else. I think we covered everything. There's a commission meeting next Tuesday of next week. Halloween is this Thursday.
Be cognizant of your surroundings too, people. You know, everybody like to put on those masks and costumes and go and rob you, man. Be cognizant of your surroundings.
That's right.
You go in, if you're taking your kids trick or treating, man, stay with them, because you got some crazy people out here that want to do bad things to kids, man. And you know, just watch your kids, man. With it, you know, just go trick or treating with them, and be aware.
And if you're legal, take your firearm too. If you're legal and you're not a felon, that's right.
We always say that.
Exercise it. I'm one to say, I know in our community, the leaders always trying to unarm our community, but no, our community needs to be armed just like every other community legally. So if you take your kids, you have the right here in the state of Florida now to carry a concealed weapon. Go get some training. Don't just, if you don't know what you're doing, don't handle a firearm. Go get training. But just be safe.
Use your common sense. And you know, just because you have a firearm don't mean you have to use it
or pull it out every time you get an argument with someone.
Our grandfather used to always say, "I'd rather have it and not need it than to need it and not have it." So there you go. So just be careful, people.
It is funny. I'll tell y'all a story. Just the night of the hurricane, the night the hurricane came, I was standing out in my yard. I couldn't sleep. I got up and I went outside. Had my Glock 40 on me as always. And when I went outside, I saw this little young kid. It's like about 1:30 in the morning. Everybody got their lights out over here. I never understand that. Everybody, those lights, y'all turn the lights on. Those lights that you can go on your FPNL app and it can tell you how much power, electricity, or whatever your usage is daily. It can tell, but people cut all their lights out, and it's only a few people on our street with cameras. Hopefully I'm not giving the criminals no information, but you know, I'm standing out there. This little young kid, he doesn't see me, but I'm fully loaded. I could have bust this heart wide open. I mean, he looked up and saw me, and he was checking the car doors over here. He had a mask. And you could tell clearly it was a kid. I mean, I didn't even say, I just let him walk. He was a teenager. You could tell he couldn't have been no more than about, I would say probably 13, maybe 14 years old. But he has some blue gloves and he's going in every one yard. The wind is blowing so hard, so you can't really hear anything. And he's checking the car doors. And I watched him. You know, I watched him and I let him get close. I didn't say nothing to him. He had a mask on. He had a mask and he had a hoodie on. So I couldn't really see his face, but he saw that Glock 40 in my hand. And you ought to saw how he, like, you could tell he was so scared that he just took off down the road running. I didn't say anything to him, but that just show you right there how quick you can lose your life unknowing, coming up in someone's yard.
Someone got shot in Oakland Park. Someone got shot in Oakland Park last night trying to break in a car, and the homeowner came outside and caught him breaking in the car and shot him. So we're not advocating that nobody shoot anybody, but lock your cars, people. Okay, Kill Got Curves. Thank you for joining us, cousin Lois Gresham. Hey, look, cousin Lois, Rudy Ortiz, and Quilla. What's up, Quilla? Thank you for joining us. We probably getting ready to hop off of here, man, because we've been on here for exactly 44 minutes and 35 seconds. And just talking about, whatever news we can pass on to you all and be as transparent as we can with you all and to keep you all informed. That's all we're here for, man. We don't hold back no information. When we we let you all know, and it wasn't always like that.
No.
And that's why you see me and my brother behind these microphones like that right now, because you have here in Deerfield, you have certain cliques. You have 2 or 3 different little cliques that that has information, and they like to withhold information, and they don't like to share that information with everyone. They share it with certain people, and when they do share it, it's too late. Everything is all over with. But that'll never happen as long as you see these 2 bald-headed black men behind these microphones. Trust me, if we find out something, you all will know, because we're gonna let you know. So
hello, Lloyd's cousin. Yes, Shirley Harton. That youngster could have lost his life, but I'm not. I mean, I'm not gonna shoot no one. Only way you're gonna die if you're in my house. If I come home and catch you in my house, you're gonna die. I'm saying that right now. For whatever, because we have the castle doctrine. I don't have to retreat in my house. But if you come up in my house and I come in here and I catch you, you better try to kill me, because I'm going to kill you first. So I'll make a promise to that. And I don't care who knows that. So that's why I say y'all just watch your kids and your grandkids, because I say this, if they get caught up in my house, I'm going to kill them.
For entertainment purposes only.
No, it's not entertainment. For me, if you get caught up in my house, if I come home and catch you up in my house, you're going to die.
Okay. Anything else before we wrap it up? All right. Well, you already know how we rock here on the Adams Brothers Podcast, man. We want to thank you all for rocking with us. Our cousins, Doe Sutton and Lois Gresham, thank you for joining us.
I see Ivan, cousin Ivan.
Hey, cousin Ivan, we just getting ready to hop off with our cousin up there in Orlando, Ivan Davila. Hey, cousin, man, all our family showing us mad love. Thank you all for rocking with the Adams Brothers Podcast, man. Happy Halloween to you. We'll be back on Wednesday at 5 p.m. We have 2 interviews, one at 5 and one at 6. So you all be sure to come back.
NFL player Tracy Scroggins at 6 p.m. Join me, Dara, and Tony Sands as we do Tracy Scroggins. He's going to be talking about CTE. He played 10 years in the NFL for the Detroit Lions. Going to be a great interview. We hope to see y'all, and we're going to have Sonia Lawrence at 5 o'clock talking about financial planning.
That's right.
So we'll see you back Wednesday at 5 and 6 o'clock p.m. Thank y'all. Y'all have a good evening.
Thank you, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your evening, and good night, everybody. We love you, and there's absolutely nothing you can do about it. Good night, everybody.